Hey, it's me. You're, yeah. So I am sitting here. It's Tuesday, Wednesday. Sorry, Wednesday, September 2nd, 2020, and I'm Jarrett Casey, and I'm so happy to have you here with me today. So it's been my day off today. I woke up this morning and had a hard time getting out of bed. I ended up going to the grocery store, buying just a few little items. Made myself some French toast, which I haven't had in months or longer. But I've dropped 12 pounds in the last 6 weeks or so. And so I thought, why not? I'm going to have French toast. I'm not really, it's cool because I used to have trouble losing weight, but like last year I tried to lose weight and I went on that keto diet and it didn't really work very well. The most I lost was 7 pounds, but I didn't dip below 189, 188. So now I'm 180. My highest I was ever at was in 2017 at Christmas time. I was 215. So I'm down 35 pounds from then. So that's pretty good. I feel good. I've still got a little right around here, but I think that's just what everyone has. Anyways, I am not going on a fad diet. What I've done is I've decided to make just some more healthy choices. And so I'm trying to follow the word of wisdom slightly. I'm not LDS, but it really touched me or resonated with me when I had a friend of mine, Amanda, tell me that it mentions eating meat sparingly, that we should eat meat sparingly. So I thought about what that would mean. And I thought, okay, did they just mean, because she said it kind of meant, in the winter or whatever, when food was scarce, they'd eat more meat, but in the summer, they wouldn't because there was more abundance in the harvest and that thing, and so they'd eat meat very little, and that was kind of eat meat sparingly. So nowadays we have meat available to us all the time. So I thought what the modern day equivalent to that would be, and I thought, well, there's people that eat meat 2-3 meals a day. There's people that eat meat 1 meal a day. People that eat meat 3 to 5 days a week. So I thought, whatever it is for me, I'll just take it the next step. And then so I tried to eat meat once a day before. So because I had thought, even before, I thought I should reduce my meat that I'm eating every day. So I thought, oh, okay, I can have a vegetarian, vegan meal twice a day, and then meat once a day. And that was even from having cut it down before, because I did used to eat it maybe twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day. So I got down to once a day, and now I'm down to like 2 to 3, maybe 4 days a week, but mostly 2 to 3. I want to get down to like 1 or 2 days a week, just 1 or 2 meals a week, I should say. It's a little more tempting when I'm up at my parents' house, or sometimes I'm at work, there's free food. I'm like, ooh. But other than that, I pretty much get either vegetarian or vegan. I have a dish at work I modified to be vegan called the Santa Fe Power Bowl. And so it normally has lime chicken and a poblano ranch. So I just take those out, get extra avocado, and do oil and vinegar. And so it has farro, spinach, tomato, avocado, sweet corn, black beans, red cabbage, and roasted pumpkin seeds. And then I do the olive oil and the balsamic, and it's so good. So that's one of my go-tos at work. And I did have salmon tonight. I don't really count the salmon as meat, but yeah. So anyways, that's kind of what I'm doing. So that's all I'm doing. I'm just trying to switch things. I went from at Chipotle doing sour cream and cheese with chicken in my burrito to just sofritas, tofu with guacamole. So that's a vegan option there. And I just kept going down. Every time I go somewhere, I think, how can I make this vegan or vegetarian and still really enjoy myself? And then, every once in a while, if I'm up at my parents and they're having something, or there's, whatever, if I just really, really crave it or something, I can choose to have meat. It's not a big deal. I do almond milk instead of regular milk, although I do still have eggs in the morning. I make sure they're cage-free eggs for hopefully they're happy chickens. And yeah, I don't use butter. I just use like olive oil. I got rid of all the cheese. There's still some cream cheese in there, but I don't use it anymore. I should throw it out. And that's that. So it feels good. It feels good. And I've lost 12 pounds. And I still feel like I eat whenever I want. And I still eat a lot of carbs. Not a lot. Well, yeah, more than people on low carb diets. And I hope it's a lot healthier. And my cholesterol was like really high. I'm not even going to tell you the number. But so hopefully when they check it again, that will help. I'm not this week. I haven't been good at working out, but I have been working out more. So I felt like I had to get that on my chest, apparently. I watched 2 movies today. I watched Cinderella, the live action remake by Disney, and we just watched The Greatest Showman. Just me, myself, and I, and my cat. They were really good. They were really good. And there was a lot of messages in there that I feel like speak to what I'm going through right now. And I think maybe what a lot of people are going through right now. And I think that's the beauty of some of the films that are made or books out there, whatever. I think a lot of people, they pour their heart and their soul into their work. And it really speaks to us, especially in times of awakening or in times of hardship. And those 2 things don't have to go together. And that's what's so beautiful, to see the message in some of these things, that even though they may go through challenges or, there may be some things out of their control, that doesn't mean they have to go through hardships, or that hardships have to be thrust upon them just for them to overcome. So instead of overcoming, we can just become, right? And becoming is so much more fruitful than overcoming, because it's the same process of awakening, except when you remove all of the false challenges and blocks to what you're trying to do. Everybody can the whole energy shifts. It's so much more loving. People can really get excited and have very powerful and moving experiences. And it just propels you so much further on your journey, so much more quickly. And so it's refreshing. It's affirming for me to see some of these movies and to hear some of these messages, because it reminds me that I'm on the right path, and that I'm here to be truly helpful, and that I know that others see me, or they see my struggle. They know who I am, and that even if someone has to overcome because they've chosen to become, I think that choice is honored. And the way we choose to become is we choose that for everyone else too, that they be allowed to become instead of forced to overcome. And we do that by bringing our light to the world and spreading the message of true forgiveness, of release from fear and punishment and judgment, and for the perfect plan of atonement that Jesus offers us, and the practice of just letting go and allowing that plan to be to just kind of happen via the Holy Spirit and via our own connection with Him and our own faith. And so we're here to become, and I think that's a beautiful thing. And even though it may seem like things are really difficult right now, we keep pushing forward, and we don't remain silent. We instead just keep speaking our truth. We keep giving that guidance. We do get upset. This is upsetting time. This is a difficult experience, but that doesn't mean that we have to accept the hardships that this world tries to thrust upon us as we try to transform the world into something new entirely that everyone is lifted in, and true abundance and true wealth are the only things that are thrust upon us. And they're not even thrust upon us, they're just rained down. And we are not baptized. Someone wanted to say baptized. We're just immersed in the abundance of love and joy and heaven, because He recognizes our decision, and He wants so bad, so not badly. He just wants so much for us to receive the blessings from that decision. And the decision is to share those blessings with all of our brothers and sisters. And so that's why it's so such a beautiful plan, because even though they may not have chosen correctly, our correct choice, if everything's allowed to happen, just allows them to receive the blessings anyways. And then everyone can be lifted into understanding what that choice is and why it's made, and they just kind of naturally accept it, sometimes not even consciously, just by being lifted into the realm of belief or miracle mindedness. So I'm excited. I think it's a difficult time right now. There's a lot going on, and that's okay. I just think that if we just return to our roots and remember who we are and everything that we've built thus far and what we built it upon and why we built it, and kind of restore that frame of mind, because I feel like a lot of people are kind of going crazy right now, and just be like, whoa, like what's going on? Who are you okay? Like, wake up. We're in the United States of America. It's so good to have you here. We love you so much. And we're just so excited to be free and to lift each other up and support each other. We don't always agree on everything, and that's okay. We do agree on so many things like freedom, liberty, equality, justice, and things that aren't written into the Constitution, but those words say them. Things like safety, security, abundance, prosperity, expression, belief, connection, all these things that really make us who we are, who we truly are. So I see that still happening. I know, I hope, I truly do. I think people respond really well to that. And even though there's a lot going on right now, and it's hard to try and stop this monster from careening down the path it's on, we just have to do it. We just chop its head off, and we can just come together and talk about it. We'll get upset, right? We don't agree on everything, but that all of that's been held back can come rushing back in, and so and everyone can kind of receive that wash of relief and remembrance of like, whoa, okay, yeah, wow, okay, I feel much better. I'm like a lot more excited about the future. I'm still pissed, but I feel good that things are being addressed. They're being looked at. We're being talked to honestly and clearly, like adults, and I didn't mean that to come like we're being talked to not like adults. I just feel like there's so much politicking going on that people are getting lost in that. So if we can just lay that aside and hey, may the best man win. And until then, let's just get together and let's do this thing. You know, I think that would be a beautiful thing. But anyways, we talked about that and just a lot of people on the other side, the other like the spirit world or whatever, and how awakening really brings them into our awareness and reminds us that they're always in our presence, whether we're aware of them or not, and that they love us dearly so much, and they want us to lead happy, joyous lives. And it's hard when the world is in transition. Sometimes they disapprove of a lot of things we're doing. They have really different ways of doing things and different views on things like sex and social issues like marriage, gay marriage especially, and also just like little things like housekeeping. Like, who cares? Go away, grow up. I don't care. Go back to your mansion. Grow up. So yeah, it's we just are patient with each other and we just love each other and we fall in love with the environment we're in. You know, we're reminded of who we are, you know, where we come from, where we're going, what we stand for, and that's none of these things. Even though there are so many things that we can surround ourselves with or surround each other with besides our love, that can really be helpful in lifting people up and giving them the resources they need to facilitate their spiritual journey, their spiritual practice, their spiritual development, their connections with their family, their relationships, their health and wellness, their understanding and all these things. So that's all very helpful. But you know, and of course it's wonderful to live in a beautiful space. But even if you're on a budget, something like this is still beautiful too. So it's the journey, or as Miley Cyrus says, it's the climb. So I'm just gonna hop on an elevator and I'll see you up there. I'm just kidding. So yeah, we're gonna read today. That's not true. I mean, I just meant like the climb doesn't have to be, once again, really difficult. The nice thing is it gets easier after you've done it. But that first time, you know, it's like our children are almost like our elders. You know, they might need an elevator or an escalator. You know, they might need some help, and that's okay. That's you know, that's what we do. And if someone needs it, it's like, okay, whatever gets you up there. You want to walk halfway and take the escalator the rest, that's great. You know, or vice versa, or I can carry you for a while, or you know, what do we need to make sure that you can make this climb and not make it to the top just to pass out because you're out of steam, you have nothing left, but to get up there and be able to take that deep breath and feel overwhelmed with joy as you look out on the vista ahead of you and know that you've done it and it was all you the whole time, and it doesn't matter how you get up there because you're with everyone and we're all one, and so it was all you, you know. So anyways, we've got here, this is chapter 2, the separation and the atonement, section 8, the meaning of the last judgment. So one of the ways in which you can correct the magic miracle confusion is to remember that you did not create yourself. You are at because you're true spirit, right? You're pure spirit, you're pure love, you're pure light. So God created those things, not you. Right? You're not your body, right? And so we're not our body. Our God gives us the gift of our bodies, but the creation that we are is pure spirit, light, and love. So that's just kind of a differentiation there. You are apt to forget this when you become egocentric, and this puts you in a position where a belief in magic is virtually inevitable. Your will to create was given you by your creator, who is expressing the same will in his creation. So he's creative, right? He's our creator. So like from like, we're also creative. Okay, so we can create. Miscreation is magic. So that's when we're not correctly using our creative abilities. Now, there's a lot that we've miscreated. And so magic, I think, and this is a personal opinion, it's not in the course, but I think magic can be used to manipulate matter into something that can lift people into the realm of belief to help facilitate them becoming miracle minded. But it's not something to try and steal something from someone or take from this person, diminish their experience to enhance yours. So that's not really, if you've got something here, I've got a little card and I can turn it into a little paper bird that goes flying. That's great. But if I have my neighbor over there and they've got a beautiful energy in their home and I try and like steal that energy, it's like, that's not okay. So there are, while we're in this miscreation, until we shift into the laws of eternity where we become truly creative, you want to make sure if you're able to do that. I don't know how. I know it's possible. Then you need to focus on just creating magical experiences and just kind of manipulating matter, but not diminishing the experience of anybody else. It's all about lifting them up, not about punishing them or trying to steal from them. So that's bad. That's bad magic. Good magic is just creating a magical experience and lifting people into belief, because that's when miracles can start occurring and just flowing. Miracles are totally natural, okay? And it's totally natural to be in a beautiful, inspiring, magical environment or experience. Although if you're not in one, that's okay. You can still be lifted. You can still be inspired. Don't let anyone who lives one of these beautiful, amazing lives look at you like, oh, there's no way you can be inspired or inspiring or anything. That's a falsehood. We're all equal, and if you are, you're not better than them just because they have all of this. Okay, it's just, hey, wow, you do that, I do that, cool, best friends. Right? It doesn't even matter. So and then, hey, they might even share with you. You have stuff you can share with them, and that's how we come together. So we kind of release this, I don't know, whatever goes on between people. Are you okay? So since creative ability rests in the mind, everything you create is necessarily a matter of will. It also follows that whatever you alone make is real in your own sight, though not in the mind of God. This basic distinction leads directly into the real meaning of the Last Judgment. Right. This basic distinction leads directly into the real meaning of the Last Judgment. The Last Judgment is one of the most threatening ideas in your thinking. This is because you do not understand it. Judgment is not an attribute of God. It was brought into being only after the separation when it became one of the many learning devices to be built into the overall plan. Just as the separation occurred over millions of years, the Last Judgment will extend over a similarly long period, and perhaps an even longer one. Its length can, however, be greatly shortened by miracles. The device for shortening but not abolishing time. If a sufficient number become truly miracle-minded, this shortening process can be virtually immeasurable. If a sufficient number become truly miracle-minded, this shortening process can be virtually immeasurable. It is essential, however, that you free yourself from fear quickly, because you must emerge from the conflict if you are to bring peace to other minds. The Last Judgment is generally thought of as a procedure undertaken by God. Actually, it will be undertaken by my brothers with my help. It is a final healing rather than a meting out of punishment. However much you may think that punishment is deserved. Punishment is a concept totally opposed to right-mindedness. And the aim of the Last Judgment is to restore right-mindedness to you. The Last Judgment might be called a process of right evaluation. It simply means that everyone will finally come to understand what is worthy and what is not. After this, the ability to choose can be directed rationally. Until this distinction is made, however, the vacillations between free and imprisoned will cannot but continue. So this says right-mindedness. It's also called miracle-mindedness, or the Christ mind, or Christ-mindedness, when it's true, when it's being true, when we're seeing as Christ does. So sometimes, and this talks about vacillating between one and the other, and I find myself doing that. I'm like, for me, because I'm kind of like an energetic person, but I'm like calm, I'm like thoughtful, I love everything. I'm like team pure everything. And then other times I'm still those things, but I start thinking about the world around me and I just get upset. And I'm like, I mostly just want to sit and just chastise people, because I'm like, what are you doing sitting and punishing and judging each other all the time? It's like an endless cycle. Stop. And I try to get them to understand how important it is that that everybody stop judging one another and punishing one another and manipulating and like stealing and confusing and like just anything to just keep this game running around and around. It's like, just stop, lay down your defenses, release your grievances, let go of judgment. They do not serve you. They do not serve him. They don't serve the Heavenly Father's plan. And by him, I mean Jesus Christ. They don't serve me. They don't serve the world. They just don't serve. You think they do because maybe you're in a position where you can do those things. So why am I in that position? It's like, I don't know. Why'd you put yourself there? Because you need to be powerful. Why don't you come back? There we go. Now that's power, right? So just come back to who you are, release all those things, and let's shift into love so we can have that Christ mind back, and that we can be right-minded and we can start seeing our world transform and start receiving all the blessings that he's already given us. He's just waiting for us to receive them, and we can't receive them till we at least decide that we're willing to start sharing them with others, with every one of our brothers and sisters, in recognition that we're already one with them. So by sharing them with them, we're sharing them with ourselves. And it doesn't seem that way at first because we're still waking up, hello, but it's true. It's what we're here for. So just keep reminding yourself and reminding each other of that truth, because it is true. That's how the kingdom comes. The kingdom is coming. We don't want it to take millions of years. And you're like, millions of years? How can I speed it up? So it's said in the Course, I believe, that one teacher of God can save 1,000 years as we measure it. And it's not just for that teacher, it's for the whole plan. 1,000 years can be saved by every teacher of God. And so if we had, so Earth is 4.5 billion years old. So that's cool. So I thought it was going to take 4.5 billion more to get to the end, but maybe it's 4.5 million. You know how numbers are here. So anyways, I thought maybe we'd need 80 million new teachers of God to get us the rest of the way. But I think maybe if we took a few zeros off, we could do it a little cheaper. So, but I'm still going to shoot for 80 million because why not? If we can get 80 million certified teachers of God, what the heck would happen then? So anyways, all it takes is to share the message and for people to truly decide and choose correctly. And we've got another teacher of God. And so we save 1,000 years as we measure it here on earth. And the kingdom, I guess if it's a few million years away, gets closer and closer with every one of them. So that's by design. That's so that we do this work and we shift into love. And so that time can collapse a lot more quickly than you think. And so I think they're actually probably a lot closer than when this was written or dictated, in the 1970s. So I wonder how close they are. I hope they're close. Anyways, the last judgment, we just said that. The first step toward freedom involves a sorting out of the false from the true. This is a process of separation in the constructive sense and reflects the true meaning of the apocalypse. So a lot of people say apocalypse, oh my gosh, it's going to be like famine and locusts maybe, and fire raining from above, and it's like crazy, crazy, crazy. And this is a crazy time. This is not the apocalypse. Okay, well, what I mean, some people say yes, it is, but then it's like, okay, then we're doing okay, right? I mean, it's still not okay because we haven't shifted into love. We can end the apocalypse if this is the apocalypse, because I don't even believe in an apocalypse. But if this is the apocalypse, then we can just cut it short by just shifting into love and spreading the good news. So we don't have to freak out. We don't have to get all crazy. I woke up like this. Wake up like this, just pull your hair back and smile and tell yourself, I am beautiful. I'm a perfect child of God. I am light. I am love. I am joy. I deserve my natural inheritance, which is the kingdom of heaven. Right? There are no exceptions. I'm perfect. You're perfect. Oh, thank you. Right? No, you are one. No, you are. Just tell that to one another. If you start freaking out, hey, it's going to be okay. God's plan is well underway. We're doing a great job. Can we improve? Yes, we can. Are we perfect? Yes, we are. So we should bring those two things together. So, and we can all get better, and we get better together, and we're not better than, maybe better than we were before, but we're not better than anyone else. Someone may seem to be, and so maybe they have some ways to help, and then we can help them, but no one's better than anyone else. We're all equal here. Welcome to the United States. So everyone, so we're just sorting out the true from the false, right? We're just going, okay, this is true. This fits love. This is false. This fits fear and punishment. Okay, what do we do about the crazies going out and killing people? Well, we need to stop them from doing that. That's for sure true. Okay, and they'll still need to also be safe, right? Welcome to the United States of America. And So we're not going to just, like go murder them back or try and drive them into hell or something. We're just going to take them. Well, hopefully we can stop murders before they happen. That would be good. um, yeah, just we need to stop all the suffering. Just stop the rapes, stop the murders, stop the all the negative things tearing people down, trying to get them to kill themselves, whatever it is. We know sometimes you don't approve of people. Sometimes we don't approve of people. We love them anyways. We see them as perfect. We try to keep them accountable. Accountability happens in the moment. So if something happened 16 years ago, I'm not going to come today and say, I'm going to keep you accountable for this. Well, no, not really. So accountability happens when someone's like starting to go crazy. They're about to go do something. And you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, what are you doing? Wake up. Are you okay? Who are you? Remember your decision. Remember your promise to Heavenly Father. Remember what we're here for. Your love. I know this is hard. Let's talk about it. Okay. That's keeping someone accountable before they go off and do things. And you don't punish them for thinking, although it can be like, whoa, emergency 911. You're a little crazy right now. What can we do for you? But you don't punish them for it. These are difficult times as we awaken, and we've got everything we need. We are fully capable. We are love. We are light. We are joy. And so that's what we do. So everyone will ultimately look upon his own creations and choose to preserve only what is good, just as God himself looked upon what he had created and knew that it was good. At this point, the mind can begin to look with love on its own creations because of their worthiness. At the same time, the mind will inevitably disown its miscreations, which, without belief, will no longer exist. The term last judgment is frightening not only because it has been projected onto God, but also because of the association of last with death. There is no death. A lot of you know that, so that's good. This is an outstanding example of upside down perception. If the meaning of the last judgment is objectively examined, it is quite apparent that it is really the doorway to life. No one who lives in fear is really alive. Your own last judgment cannot be directed toward yourself because you are not your own creation. You can, however, apply it meaningfully and at any time to everything you have made, and retain in your memory only what is creative and good. This is what your right-mindedness cannot but dictate. The purpose of time is solely to give you time to achieve this judgment, not to prevent it, not to delay it for as long as possible, but it's giving you time to achieve the judgment, to get to the point where you're sorting the false from the true, you're choosing correctly, you're moving into your miracle mind, and we're all doing it together. And then the bad is washed away, right? Because Jesus showed us the way, forgiveness. It's forgiven. We keep the good. Yay, because we're creative. We have a lot of good. We get to keep it. Awesome. And that's what time is for. That's what we use time for. And that was the last judgment, right? We're perfect. We're perfect children of God. We know that already. He doesn't want us to go to hell. He wants us home in heaven. So the sooner we can get to the last judgment, the better, because all that bad stuff goes away. We keep the good stuff and we enter into the kingdom, and we're finally in real life. I call it real life. So it's all good. It's all good. It's perfect. So when everything you retain, I'm sorry, it is your own perfect judgment of your own perfect creations. When everything you retain is lovable, there is no reason for fear to remain with you. This is your part in the atonement. So what a beautiful message. And it's like, okay, we have no reason to be afraid. We have nothing to fear but fear itself. And so we're not going to fear the final judgment. God is pure love. He loves us perfectly. We're not going to fear his judgment. Okay. He wants us home, heaven. Okay. What we should well, we shouldn't be fearing, but what should be noticing is all of each other's judgments and punishments that end up keeping us ensnarled in fear. And so we're going to cut those. We're going to release them. They don't serve us. And we're going to run, not walk, to the last judgment, because that's going to get us home sooner. It's going to save suffering. It brings Jesus. Awesome. Jesus Christ comes. And so the more that we can choose correctly, choose forgiveness, choose love, choose life, celebrate life, remember the atonement, remember who we are, all those things, the sooner he comes. And the beauty of the moment is we can start right now, right here, and we can join hands, we can join hearts, we can join minds. It's very helpful the more we do those things. So let's do it. And I'm so excited. So anyways, that put me in a great mood. So thank you for letting me share that. And starts off talking about a diet, ends up talking about life. That was one of the kids. I have these kids. They're crazy. I don't know if they're actually my kids somewhere in time and space, but man, they are funny, funny, funny. They just keep me going. We play word games all the time. And we start with our ABCs. I mean, you can't play word games without knowing all your letters and numbers. Well, mostly letters, but numbers help too. And so we start with our ABCs, and I call it Awakening Before Christ. Always be communicative. And this is sign language for H. So this is heaven, right? So this is G, and this is H. So awakening, thumbs up before Christ. So that's just stupid. But so we're gonna always be communicative. So we should start talking. We need to talk about how we're feeling, about what's going on. We need to share the truth with people that this is not a time to fear judgment. This is a time to run toward it because God loves us so much that he's given us a free pass. But that doesn't mean do whatever you want, because then that keeps us in suffering. And you're like, I don't care. I'm doing good. I don't suffer. They do. Okay. I call that meth. Me, them. It's like, we're all one. There's no me, them. Okay. There's me and them. Me and them. Neanderthal. Right? We're Neanderthals. All we do is just meander. We're like in the dark ages. We're Neanderthals. So be Neanderthals. Right? You may be meandering, but stand tall. Right? That's what the Gauls called them, Neanderthals. Well, Neanderthals, but so those are the types of word games we play. So that's it. That's what I got for the day. We're sitting at 45 minutes. Once again, it's September 2nd, 2020, 9:54 p.m. You have a wonderful night. I love you so much. Take care.